GG. All right, came back from down 2 to up 3-2, going into the final game. And I get to be player 1. Oh boy, what is this? Huh. Coven actually could be good here. There's no trashing at all. There's transport, which allows you to get the Covens quicker. It seems entirely possible to put 10 curses in your opponent's deck before the game ends. Counterpoint, it's still Coven. And there's other parts of this kingdom that look pretty strong, like Peasant. A little bit light on draw for a while until you get the plus card token. You can put that on Trail or Wheelwright or something and then increase your draw. That does also make one more argument in favor of the Covens is if draw is a little bit lacking, then the attack becomes more potent. I don't know, it's just not in my nature to go for Coven. I'm gonna click doesn't. And I'm gonna do it again. Here I'm thinking about a third peasant plus transport hireling maybe. And then you could retransport the hireling and get that into play early. Seems kind of nice. If they collide, if hireling and peasant collide, you can delay. Hireling and soldier collide, you're a little bit sad. But Hakka's going for the hireling line even more immediately. Yeah, I'm not sure I untransport the hireling yet. I'm going to have two soldiers and a peasant in that shuffle already. I think they're just a little bit too likely to collide. I could just play a soldier and delay a hireling and buy nothing, and that's fine. But an alternative line could involve, like, let's say just buy a fishing village here and then transport the hireling turn 5 instead of turn 4. That would probably be okay, right? I think it's either fishing village or untransport the hireling. I'm going to do the fishville first. I've hit 5, which is a curious number. Could still top deck a hireling, or I could just buy a 5 outright. Does Trail have good targets? You could discard an estate and gain a peasant, which is okay, but nothing special. So I said Trail, I meant Wheelwright. Um, those cards just naturally go together. Once I have Trails in my deck, Wheelwright and Trail is a nice little synergy. Do I want an immediate Wheelwright? Do I just want to proceed with the hireling plan? First Mate probably has some anti-synergy with hireling, so I'm not sure that ever ends up coming up. I think I'm going to buy a Wheelwright. Final answer. Oh no! Where are all my terminal action cards? I've got a soldier and a peasant down there. That's a little bit tragic. I think that does mean I can safely transport hireling here, though. I can play a soldier next turn, I can play a peasant next turn, and then I can delay the hireling, and that will be an okay turn. The nice thing about hireling is if you play it at the start of turn, you get the +1 card the same turn, because you're still in the start of turn phase. So if uh, you delay a hireling and then play it in the start of turn window, you get the +1 card immediately. Whereas normally, if you just play it in the normal way in your action phase, you don't get the +1 card until the following turn. All right, Hakka adding a trail makes sense. That could also be what I buy here. Well, actually, I have 6. Hireling looks pretty good. Delay a hireling, buy a hireling. I do want trails in my deck, though, I think. I've been attacked. I think I'll pitch the estate. Not 100% sure that's correct. Ouchie. Stop that. I think there's a case for leaving the estate in hand as a potential target for the wheelwright. Gaining a peasant isn't super important or anything, but I would take a free peasant if I could. That could potentially be more important than having 1 extra coin. Alright, yeah, I think my poor wheelwright ain't doing nothing this turn. I'll discard a copper just so it can feel like it was useful. And I'll buy me a trail. Sure, let's draw a card. There were definitely bad draws there, like I could have drawn the hireling and the fugitive off the top. But probably the most important card in my deck to find right now is the Disciple, which is in my discard, and so I'd rather get back around to that. if at all possible. It's a pretty good draw. This time I am going to leave the state in hand, although with any luck I could draw the trail maybe? Nope. Ooh. Huh. I don't think I'm doing that. So if I disabled the hireling, I would get +2 cards every turn for the rest of the game. But then the disciple is just stuck forever, and that's tragic. So probably I just play the hireling, delay the disciple, and then I can disciple the trail next turn. Uh, yeah, I'm not that desperate for hirelings, I don't think. Disciple is just too strong. Also, teacher here is, I think, going to be really good. I think I am well on my way to losing the trail split. So maybe I need to plan to get a bunch of wheelwrights and put plus card on those. I think trail is the ideal target for the plus card token, but Hakha is just up 3-1 on those already. Do I have my advantages? I'm a little ahead on having hirelings in play. Not really. Half a turn ahead, as much as player one would be ahead. I think I'm probably slightly behind here overall. Not egregiously. Alright, takes a second wheelwright. You can't be behind on both of those piles. I need to win at least one of the splits. And unfortunately, there aren't two cards left. I would love it if I could disciple the trail and put the trail into the shuffle. That's not going to happen. God freaking. Hmm. These disciples are not cooperating. I might just value delaying that more than anything that I could play. I think bottom card is a peasant, if I'm not mistaken. I think. So I have one disciple set aside and two hirelings. I think there's a pretty good case for resolve the disciple first, play the wheelwright, discard this disciple, gain a trail, and that way that disciple goes back into the shuffle before I trigger it. If I resolve the hirelings first, I'll have already triggered the shuffle, and then discarding this disciple would just be terrible, because it would be outside of my deck entirely. But if I do the disciple wheelwright immediately, I can discard that disciple and hopefully draw back into it in time. That's my hope, at least. I think Coven could still see play here soon-ish. Like once your deck is up and running and you want payload, uh, I'm not sure Coven is the best payload, but it's considerable. Just because like these piles are going to naturally be low, and so rushing down the curse pile is a way to end the game quickly. Haggler might just be stronger. You wouldn't rule that out. All right, so wheelwright, discard you, gain a trail, gain. Oh no! All right, so much for plan. Draw back around to disciple. You can just buy another wheelwright. I think that's right. So I'm pretty sure I'm losing the trail split here, and I think that puts me behind for sure. Uh, but my hope is to put plus card on wheelwright, and then hopefully that leads to something productive. Please leave one, just one trail and a few wheelwrights, something. I did get a teacher first, but yeah, I just he's got like 8 of those now or something. Too many for me to feel comfortable in my position for sure. I think my goose is pretty much cooked once Naka gets plus card on the trails. Then he'll have enough draw to do whatever he wants. Oh no! The match is almost over and I forgot about my V8. No wonder I've lost so many. I was deficient on my vitamins and minerals. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know what I do here. I mean, the natural inclination would be to put plus card on trail just to maximize the chance of having something resembling a turn. That's just a disaster waiting to happen. Plus card on Fishing Village sounds like a lost cause. I think the answer is just everything is losing. I'm gonna put plus card on wheelwright. Do I disciple the trail? That does nothing of value with no trails left. I think I just play the trail. Hope to draw a wheelwright up the top, please. Oh, well, thank you. Maybe it's not time to resign quite yet. You a bunch of peasants and threaten to pile up peasants somehow. Not sure what that looks like. Uh, what do I do here? I probably want to buy a province, I think, which requires me to play every single card left in my hand. I could discard the disciple to gain another wheelwright, or I could delay the disciple. I think I prefer the latter. Yeah, plus card trail. He might have a win here. I'm not sure. I think a win would look like lowering peasants a bunch, maybe, and buying a province. Not sure if he has that much in his deck. Please leave a wheelwright in the pile. Pretty please. I would really like a wheelwright. Yeah, that looks like someone who's going for a pile out. If he's lowering the peasant pile further. I would love it if he goes for a pile out, doesn't quite get there, and then throws the game. That would make me very happy. I don't have another teacher token coming in quite yet. I get another turn, I disciple this wheelwright. Maybe gain a wheelwright if there's one left, if Hakha is so kind. And then presumably I would have to gun for a pile out of some sort. And the longer the game goes, surely the worse I'm favored. Maybe I just get a really lucky draw and pile out peasants or something somehow. I don't know. All of that is assuming I get another turn, which is uncertain. I presume if you're Hakka, you're currently thinking about whether to go for the pile out or not. That looks like he is. All right, so either he's figured out that he's got it, or he's taking an unnecessary risk. I'm really hoping it's the latter. Three peasants in a province, or three peasants, a duchy, and an estate. Both sound a little too doable for me to be happy right now. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'll do it. Maybe he'll accidentally exchange the peasants? Nope, didn't fall for it. Alrighty, 3-3 final score. That's alright. I think that still leaves me ever so slightly in first, proportionally speaking. Hard to say because Yuri Kame and I haven't played the same number of matches anymore, but I'll have a slightly higher win percentage.